Welcome to Vibrant Living International's podcast. You were designed for greatness. I am so happy that you are here wherever you are finding this audio or video. Welcome to You Were Designed for Greatness, created by Vibrant Living International. If we haven't met, my name is Donna and I am the founder of Vibrant Living. Vibrant Living's mission is to empower you, spirit, soul, and body, empowering you to eliminate fear, doubt, low self esteem, feeling guilty, feeling bored all the time with life. That's not vibrant. Complacency and eliminating the need to perform for your worth, unworthiness, hopelessness, sickness, and lack. We want to help you live vibrantly. So remember to share this podcast, download it, give reviews, and help us to expand our reach. This is podcast number 112. And we are going to be talking today about another question we have received from our wisdom line. Our wisdom line is a place you can call and ask or text, of course, text or call any question that you have. And in case you're looking for that number, I'll repeat it twice. It's 616 710 1254. 616 710 1254. So the question we received is, how do I make a confident decision? How do I know what to do in very difficult kind of situations? Where do you go for help? Who do you ask? Where do you look? Do you say, oh, if it will be, it'll be? Or do you fight and struggle with doubt? Are you afraid of messing up? And it's kind of shocking to realize what we believe about ourselves influences how we make decisions. Our thoughts about ourselves, the world, influence how much goodness or what we believe is possible. I remember the first time I went to buy a house, and my husband and I had been saving. We had been living in a mobile home, and we'd been saving for our first house. And we began to look, and we put an offer in on a fixer-upper. Have you ever done that? I don't know why we did. This house needed a lot of work, but we did. And I remember it was my first time ever putting an offer in. And for those of you know, I have been a realtor for a long time, but this was before that. And I didn't know what I was doing. And the offer was declined. And I remember being so upset that I didn't get something that in the end would have caused me so much problems. We ended up finding a house that needed no work, that perfectly fit our needs, and was a wonderful place to raise our kids for a lot of years. So it's a big shocking how much what I think I deserve influences what I think I can have. And when things look impossible, or when we're squeezed, it shows how much we really believe. And all of this influences how we make decisions. This is really nothing new. This has plagued mankind for thousands of years. But it reminds me of a story. And I love this story. It is the story of Gideon. Now, in Gideon's opinion, he was born to the lowest tribe and the weakest family of that tribe. He also believed that he was the runt of his family. Now, get this. He believes he's in the lowest tribe of all of his nation and the weakest family, and then he's the runt of that family. Oh, have you ever felt like that? And on top of it all, his whole nation was under turmoil and attack from a rival country. So, through all of this, he not only feels like he's lowest, but then his nation is under attack. And I was always wondered, it really doesn't say, where did he create that opinion of himself? And when you stop and think about you, where did our opinion of us come from? So as we begin this story, Gideon is hiding. Now he's doing some work and he is hiding from the enemies. He doesn't want his enemies to see what he's doing, and he's hiding. So in his opinion, he is in the lowest tribe, the weakest family. He's the runt and he's hiding. You got the picture. He's hiding out. And an angel appears to him. Now he's hiding, so that had to be startling. An angel appears to him and greets him like this. Hello, courageous warrior. The Lord is with you. Do you like my angel voice? Oh, hello, courageous warrior. The Lord is with you. Can you imagine? Now remember what he thinks of himself. What would you have thought? Yeah, right. That's what I have thought. Yeah, right. Have you seen me? Have you seen my family? Have you seen what's happening in our nation? Where is God? This is what I can imagine. And Gideon said some of this. Where is God when all this is going on? He had to have abandoned us, or we wouldn't be facing problems. Now that is a powerful statement. How many times we think if God was with us, we would not have adversity. And I'm here to tell you that's not truth. But it is what we believe. And it influences our faith. Because if God's abandoned me, how can I even have any faith? If the whole world is against me and no one loves me and I don't know what to do, and even when things are going well, these little attitudes sneak in there. He must not be with me, Gideon said, or the nation would not be facing these problems. The angel didn't even answer that. The angel said, you have the strength, and you will deliver your nation from your enemies. You will strike down the whole army, and God will be with you. Now remember, he's hiding. So let's pause Gideon, and let's bring this a little bit to modern day. Have you watched the news lately? The last 4 years have been utter craziness. There's been some amazing, wonderful things that's happened to us, to me and our family and people I know, but there has been craziness in our world to a new level that we didn't think was possible. And if we look at that to whether God is with us, can you see how it would weaken our faith? We would make decisions from a different place. Have you ever felt like the weakest and the lowest and everything's against you? I think every single one of us have at some point, if we are really honest. I know I have. If you have been following me, one of the keys I teach in my signature transformational coaching programs is feelings are indicators of what I believe about me. I'm going to say that one more time. Feelings are indicators of what I believe about me. But I'm here to tell you it's not necessarily truth. It's just what you're believing. but it doesn't make it truth. When we are in these kind of situations, we often look for confirmation of what we already believe. And if I believe that God is against me, I seem to find confirmation. If I believe nobody loves me, or that I've been abandoned, or something's wrong with me, or I have a hard time with relationships, I'm not good with money, I'm not that smart, we seem to find confirmation of those things. And I'm sure Gideon did. But today I am attempting to be the angel saying to you, hello, courageous warrior. The Lord is with you. And if we ask friends, we usually have friends around us that agree with us that it's bad and that it's probably going to get worse. And then we listen to programs that reinforce that things are bad. Get ready. They're probably going to get worse. So let's go back to Gideon for a minute. And this is what he replied to the angel. If you're really sure that I can do this, now, don't be angry, but could you give me proof that what you're saying is real? And that you're actually here talking to me and I'm not dreaming? Now that's what Gideon replied. So the angel said yes, and he put an offering of some meat and bread on a rock. And the angel had a staff, and he touched his staff to the bread and the meat, and it was incinerated. A little while later in the story, God is talking with Gideon, and Gideon says, God, if you really intend to use me, and I am who you say I am, could you give me another sign? And so he requested that he would put a piece of wool, a wool fleece, on the ground. And he asked that there would only be dew on the fleece and that the ground around it would be dry. And in the morning it was so. In the morning he squeezed the wool and it filled a bowl of water, but the ground around it was completely dry. So he went, God, could you just do this one more time? This time, would you make the fleece dry and the ground around it soaking wet? In the morning, it was so. And to summarize the rest of the story for time's sake, Gideon took a small army and defeated an enormous army. And Gideon began to believe who he really was, not what he thought he was or others had said about him. So let's bring this back to you and me. Where do we go when we're looking for confirmation? When we're saying, just one more time, I need to be sure that I can do, or that you love me, or that you're with me, or that it's going to be okay. Whatever decisions are going on in your life, what do we do when we're looking for that? And as I said before, a lot of times we look in all the wrong places for that hope, direction, encouragement, some kind of confirmation. One thing I have found for sure, it is always best to go to the source. And what I mean by the source is the one who created you and me. I want you to notice God did not get upset with Gideon's doubt, or him asking, are you sure? Could you just tell me one more time? But this story, I will remind you, is in the Old Testament, before Jesus came. We are now available a new covenant. We don't have to be limited to the Old Testament ways. We don't have to rely on signs or confirmations anymore. God now speaks, and we have the ability, and I teach people every day how to hear from God directly in their heart, how to hear in their spirit, their intuition, how to hear God's voice. And his voice never condemns and is always loving, is always hoped, it always believes the best. Now, as a minister who helps people develop and increase their spiritual intelligence, I often get lumped with people who believe very, very differently. Every month, believe it or not, I seem to encounter those who look to tarot cards for answers, or a psychic, or even asking the dead questions. And there are people who use words like universe to describe God in a way they don't know. And there's nothing wrong with that word, except it's limiting. God created the universe, the Milky Way, the planets, the stars, the world. He created it. He is bigger than the universe. The universe is a limiting word. He cannot be defined. And we try all the time to define him. The stars point to Jesus. The stars point to God. So when you are looking for help, that we ask in, where do I go when I make decisions? Go to the source. Go to, or someone who can help you hear from the source. Get support from someone who speaks the truth. And the truth isn't always what you want to hear. Truth is different than facts. The facts are the world looks crazy. The truth is God is with me. He is Emmanuel, and he will take care of me. Get support from someone who helps you see the lies you're believing about yourself and others, who reveals your blind spots, because we all have them. Someone who believes in you. Do not go to the counterfeit. Don't go to tarot cards. Do not go to psychics. Don't talk to the dead or look to the news or look to people who will reinforce the negative. You want the truth. This podcast purpose is to help you believe you were designed for greatness, to bring truth and tools to you to help you live vibrantly. Because God loves you. In the spite of whatever is happening in your world, he is the source. He is the answer. And as we learn to know who we really are, like Gideon, discover the truth so we can shine, it will change everything. So just let me recap. To summarize in making decisions, understand that what you believe about you and the world affects how you make decisions, what you can receive into your life. Always remember, number 2, go to the source, not the counterfeit. And number 3, bring people into your life that speak the truth. If you want more life, if you want more answers, if you want support in finding the truth, revealing your blind spots so that you can live vibrantly, schedule a call with me. It's absolutely free. The link will be in the show notes wherever you're finding this audio or video. I want you to understand how to make confident decisions, because as we make confident decisions, we live more vibrantly and we begin to know who we really are and how to go to the source. Until next time, I believe in you. I hope you feel my heart for you, because God loves you. Until next time, have an amazing day. Bye for now.